but AA never doesn't really give you any kind of disable. That's the one like big downfall of the hero and why we didn't really see him picked up so often is just because he's a support who has no lockdown. But Cold Feet has gotten buffed. It got buffed from the 1.5 at level 1 or 1.25 at level 1 all the way up to 2 seconds now. So it's actually pretty strong at the early levels.
I would really love to see that level 25 talent you're talking about on the way here.
Yes.
Was it 3 or 4?
4 charges of Cold Feet at 25. I don't think we ever will see level 20. I don't think we'll see level 25A for a very long time because that hero dies.
This could be Samael for all we know in the Ancient Apparition.
That would be hype.
Well, there's Arteezy's Venomancer.
AA Veno. Oh god, Veno plus AA is actually so disgusting. Not only just the Ice Blast. You can't heal through it, but it's not even just the Ice Blast. The Vortex makes this Poison Nova actually do so much damage in fights. So right now, EG has an immense amount of team fight coming up from these 3 heroes.
Do you think you can actually aggro with that? Like if you ran like Vortex early level, you go Earth Spirit and Venomancer on the off lane for EG? I
mean, they could. I don't think that they will. Like, I don't think it's necessary. I think they can do a lot of things with this. Just parking Arteezy in the safe lane, and then these two can easily roam around the map with their the Earth Spirit and the Ancient Apparition. We used to actually see this combo. I want to say it was, I don't think they were called NP, but when they were playing together, they do this and they start middle and they just throw the Chilling Touch onto the Earth Spirit and the AA, and then they just roll in onto the mid laner as soon as he makes an aggressive play and they get first blood right away, and then they just start making this duo rotation because it's so much damage early game because Earth Spirit closes the distance with Chilling Touch.
It's going to be fun to watch this experimentation from EG. I still thought that would be a little bit, I'd say more serious in a way, but again, Team Secret did the same thing by picking the AA in the first phase, but like EG still have a lot on the line. Like if they don't get a 2-0 victory here, potentially they miss out on the matchup with Virtus Pro, because if they
Faceless Void.
Okay. Because if they do lose it, obviously they're going to go backwards. But if they don't even win this series, then they have no chance to compete for the 1 position.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, their draft is just different because, at least from what we're used to seeing, because so far every single game at this tournament they've gotten Puck first too. So it's like they kind of had to change it. They had got Puck Crystal Maiden pretty much all of them. So they were doing like Puck CM, and then they'd 3rd pick Zai's hero, and then they'd 4th pick Arteezy's, and then 5th pick Sumail's.
So it's getting too predictable. Change things up.
Too predictable, and now they got some of their heroes taken away, so they're just like, all right, we already have like an idea of what draft we want to play. That's what at least this tells to me. They're probably like, this is what we want to play. It doesn't really matter what the enemy team has.
The one difference between this AA Void combination is going to be the fact that this Void... Actually, was it a Void off lane before?
For a secret?
Yeah.
No, that was a safe lane.
One, right?
Yeah, they were doing it versus the Bat Rider in the laning phase for time dilation. Oh my god.
Brood by the 4th pickup from Clutch.
Oh, they don't really have... They have nothing to deal with that right now. Their heroes just do not sit well against that. They're probably going to have to change up the way that they... If they had a draft in mind, they're probably going to have to throw a wrench into it just a bit because of that Brood Mother.
They could potentially switch the Venomancer into the mid if you want to change up your safe laner.
Yep, that's okay.
It's not uncommon. Like, we've seen Samael actually play the Venomancer in the mid previously.
It's just you got to do the mind games now, right? Because then the Brood Mother can go mid. So you really have to... They're probably going to have to TP ward right away at the start to see where the Brood Mother starts. I mean, that's usually what teams do anyway. But
what if they also put like the Faces of Void into the 1 position now, and then you could run like Axe for Universe?
Axe is always can be good versus Broodmother. Sometimes you see the Broods like skip the Spiderlings if they do in that kind of matchup, but that kind of ruins the nature of the Brood. So we definitely will see some kind of adjustment coming up from EG. Not too sure exactly which heroes it can be. There's a lot of different options that they can do.
They're going to ban the Anti-Mage out just in case the Broodmother and the Earthshaker Mirana are able to make a lot of space.
Yeah.
And there's something which they don't have lockdown on, like the silence from the Earth Spirit and the Chronosphere is kind of all you're looking at the moment.
Yeah, and they don't have great like physical damage either. They're pretty much heavy magical reliance right now with the AA Earth Spirit Veno. So even if they catch him in a Chrono, if that Anti-Mage gets farmed, it's like, you know, we can't really deal with him even if we do get him locked down.
Can you just outpush it? Like if you get like a Luna into the EG lineup and then just outpush a Broodmother, take Rax really quickly and just man-moded up the lane. Are they capable of doing such a thing?
They lack a frontliner. That's the one thing. That's why I'd like them to have like something like you mentioned, like the Axe or something along those lines. Because right now it's who's going to really hit the building. You know, Venom managed to throw some plague wards. He's kind of like the frontliner, a tanky kind of way. But I think they would like something else to be that real heavy, actual like strength hero. Because they don't really have anything like that just yet.
Well, Clutch have their last choice because EG quickly moved through the drafting phase. They get a lot of extra reserve time to think about things. Clutch, however, don't, and they'll go for the Shadow Fiend. So, Brood, SF. Who's the third core out of this? The ES or the Mirana?
It's more than likely the Mirana, but this is some different draft. This is the scary thing about playing these type of games. It's like when a team is out of the tournament, they have nothing to lose. So they just like, let's just play this. This is what I want to play. What do you want to play? All right, I'm playing this. What are you going to play? Okay, let's just do this. And it's actually pretty scary when you're stuck in this situation as a team that actually needs this win in a way.
No, because like, how do you work out the structure, the timing, the lanes, all of this? Just like it becomes a lot more random.
The SF last pick tells me that they wanted like a BKB core last versus this Veno, Earth Spirit, Ancient Apparition kind of thing. Because right now the other three that they have, the other two cores that they have, don't really build that till much later on. And okay, so they go for the Sanking. So a straight Initiator and a hero to deal with the Broodmother. So maybe now we'll see the adjustment in lanes. And you said it, dude. Look at who's playing AA.
Yeah, it's going to be Sumail. It's actually the mid-Ancient Apparition.
It's mid-AA.
But I'm not going to actually lock myself into this. Because we've seen players swapping time and time again in this tournament. In fact, I think I've seen more player swaps in this tournament than I've actually seen in other tournaments recently.
People used to run it mid. Like Dendi was a big one who originated it in the mid lane because there was like not really a lot of heroes back then, of course, and like TI1 and all that. But its potential versus Shadow Fiend is actually kind of good. Like if the Earth Spirit gets a roll in there, you're able to really do a lot. Like you just get the chilling touch onto your Earth Spirit, and then you do Cold Feet, and it's gonna just lock him down quite easily. So,
yeah, boom.
Boom, and ready? Watch this production. Ready? Check this out, guys.
The timing.
Timing?
No.
Oh, wait, there's towers now. That's right.
Yeah.
All right, I'll wait for it.
And look at that dirty American money. Dirty, dirty American money.
It's still same level. Oh, they just shy of it. No, they get it. It's same level towers. All right, this is but this is interesting. I hope that they actually do keep Sumail on the AA, but it might be changed up like you mentioned. So let's see. Ready? Boom! Production, Epicenter. Got it. So yeah, it is Sumail playing Ancient Apparition. So Toby God calling that one from the first pick.
I'm not going to claim that. You know what I do, man. Every time the draft comes up, I was like, I'm going to call out one of the most randomest possible things ever. And if it happens, yeah, it can be praised. But normally, it never freaking happens.
Yeah,
Aww, bananas.
So they're just leaving Universe in a 1v1 versus the Broodmother, it seems. And they're going for some type of aggro thing with the Sanking with the Stout Shield. So he's going for just this tanky kind of build rather than you see them moving.
I'm going to be terrible. I'm sorry for everyone. I checked all my settings apart from this one before we started today.
What's that? Camera speed?
Yep.
Noob.
I'll be your observer for this first two series, so don't piss me off or else we're going to go TT tours this entire bloody game.
I have my own camera. I'm fine. You can do whatever you want over there.
It's like, screw the viewers. We don't care what you see.
This is going to be very peculiar. Like, it's a very bizarre draft coming out from Clutch, but when you've got nothing to lose, why not?
Wait, hang on. So Sumail takes the start. Arteezy has the Iron Talon.
Oh, so he's just going to straight jungle, and we're going to have Sanking matchup versus the Broodmother? Okay, so they're waiting to see where they expect the Brood to be, and so Zai's going to actually play kind of like the core Sanking in a way, and Arteezy's just going to straight jungle, and they're going to move around the map with crit.
I'm not against this. The flash farming you can get from a Venoman, so it's a lot easier on the Dire side, though. And I always get a little bit iffy when you've got to do it with just, like, these two camps.
It's pretty good here. This was the spot where it originated from when people were doing it with like the Blightstone build before. Well, this was actually quite a long time ago when the Iron Talon first got added.
I just remember the way it was Honey. Honey did it during the qualifiers for Kiev, and this spot right here on the Dire side, like just right at the box, and you can get him in here, and you're able to farm the Ancients as well. The one creeps which didn't get massively nerfed. Sumail, troublesome for him. Crit has to create a little bit of space as Boombucks. Got a nice fissure block onto this Ancient Apparition.
Yep.
Who's currently out CSing an SF.
He should. He has much higher base damage with a null.
59 +3 to the 46 +3.
Yeah. That's why he was used to be picked like there. He was one of like the better... He has a great animation for attacking too. And it's like, if you want to walk up and last hit, you cold feet every time that they're walking up to last hit. So they're like, do I want to get frozen? Do I want to get stunned? Or do I want to just back off? And majority of the time, you want to back off instead of getting that stun on you.
So many creeps for Smelter to attempt to deny, but he's come in so close to Fidget Block. Boombucks can actually body block him the rest of the way. The cold feet's on the SF, but Samael is committed into the engagement.
Beautiful block.
Mm-hmm.
This is the big playmaker for Clutch, is Boombox. Every time I see them have success, it's him just running around making the plays. And they don't really need to help their safe lane too much. That's why they're, it's just a Mirana 1v1. He's probably going to suffer in the last hitting department versus a Void at the start, because Mirana's animation and damage is quite garbage at the start, to be quite frank. Mm-hmm. But they don't have to help him, because he's not a threat by any type of aggro. So CM can just jungle and Earthshaker kind of move around until they want to get some levels.
All right, Arteezy has found the... I don't know if this is really the mid-ground or not. Wasn't it you that was telling me the faster way to actually jungle with a Venomancer is actually not with Iron Talon?
The Blightstone is, I think, it's like a little bit faster, but it's barely even then. I think the Iron Talon is just fine. At least it gives you armor and stuff, so it's like when you do get hit by the neutrals, you at least are able to tank through that a little bit more.
He's going to do both anyway. The Courier's coming out with the Clarity, the Blightstone, and a TP scroll.
Yep.
So his timing may actually be really, really nice, because when you get this, normally you're looking to do some level of push, and TPing up towards the top lane when the 5-minute mark hits, Universe should be very close to his level 6 at that point as well.
And he gets a regen rune too for Arteezy, so jungling is going to be enhanced even more.
Lucky duck. Boombox is looking for another fissure block, and Darmel starts with raise number 1. Here comes your rolling boulder forward from Crypt. The kick is nice, keeping Boombox out. Narmel doesn't really feel he's got the power for this. In fact, he doesn't. Samael will find the kill.
So much damage between them from Chilling Touch.
It was so hard for SF to get out of that lane, even with boots. Like walking on top of the Vortex. Like, I know it's only a 15% slow, but the SF looked like a slug. I
mean, the thing is that they did kill Sumail, but take a look at this creep score, man. It's 4-1 on a Shadow Fiend to a 21-12 Ancient Apparition. So he's actually getting dominated right now in the mid lane.
I'm still not certain how that happened. Like, he had a wave. Like, it was basically 2 waves of creeps come underneath the tower, and Shadow Ray should get you, like, kill secure.
Sumail is a incredibly good laner. That is the thing. He is... We've always argued about it, or not even argued, we've always stated it, that he is probably one of the best, if not the best laner, period. And, like I said, the cold feet can actually deter you from getting a lot of CS. You get cold feet on you, you can't just like walk up and freely last hit.
Crit, trying to protect the Arcane Rune, he won't be able to do so, he'll have to take it himself. Zai is actually having a really good lane against this Brood, 17-0 to the 26-4 of the Sand King. Obviously, SK is one of the best laners in the game at the moment for the off.
Yeah, I mean, he's very good versus Broodmother, he's very good versus any melee hero, and a couple of those might be some Broodlings, so it's maybe a little bit inflated. I think the big thing also for the mid lane is that the Shadow Fiend, he's scared of this.
Yeah.
Exactly, like he gets Chilling Touched, or he gets cold feeted, and he's at risk of just dying if he gets rolled on.
They're turning around to fight. Boombox has himself a fissure, but Crit can still roll himself out of this if he wants to, and with the cold feet and the follow-up kick, he goes back into it, takes the cold feet hit, and Crit barely makes it onto the radiant side of the cliff.
Arcane Rune for the win. How's Artur doing? Level 4, almost level 5, now he's on to moving on to Ancients. Did he just actually get 6 and killed him right away?
He just solo killed him. It was just Vortex into Ice Blast.
I didn't think he was going to walk back up. He was so low. I thought he was going to go back to base as the Shadow Fiend.
The only thing I saw was out the corner of my eye that happened. Smoke's going to break. Crit is reading Boombox's movement perfectly. He doesn't actually see it, however. So they trigger the 5-minute shrine.
I think that they were both just shrining there. That was a little bit of a lucky little rotation coming
with the nighttime vision from Crit, he didn't see him.
Yeah.
What's coming out in the courier? So
Gloves of Haste and a Raindrop. Right?
Is it the Midas?
Yeah, I would. I mean, he's a mid AA. Why not?
Yeah, it's the old school build.
Yeah.
Samael's in trouble. He can Ice Blast, and actually he just goes on top of the SF.
He's
if
dead.
The cold feet trigger, he should shatter.
He's dead.
One more tick.
Oh,
yep. Yeah, he goes just below the percentage.
Okay. they get a good amount of experience for killing Sumail and some good gold chunk, but Sumail getting the return kill. Nobody's there to claim the experience from the Shadow Fiend, but this is almost a level 7 AA versus a level 5 Shadow Fiend. So definitely some problems for CG this mid lane.
Fly Solo's coming up to try and stop Arteezy from farming. But thanks to his Plague Wards, like, there's no way Crystal Maiden can really reach him without putting herself in real peril. And if she could, like, Arteezy is so low already. He's at 100 HP just farming. This is the confidence he has. He'll get the extra life now from the Shrine on the top. At least the Brood's been catching up in CS. 48 now for Rappy. Starting to creep skip out against Zai.
Yeah, he's doing very well controlling his Broodlings. He's actually only lost one so far in this lane. I thought he'd lost a bit more, but thankfully, thanks to our little gold tracker here.
Oh yeah, you're watching it closely.
I am watching the gold tracker. I will update it once I see more of them killed, but I don't think you want to see you know, one Broodling killed, guys. So mid lane, Boomback's in trouble. He's dead.
God, Ice Blast. It's a kill secure. Like almost every single time. I'm not certain how you're meant to go against it. They don't have a save from Clutch.
Yeah, they have no save, and it's actually a absurd amount of damage with the Ice Vortex, with the Cold Feet. We mentioned it during the draft, like the amount of magic damage that EG does have is insurmountable. The Ice Vortex, Cold Feet, and he just has to back off. If you get stunned, you're dead. Ice Blast will kill you under the Ice Vortex.
And now he's 1,700 net worth in front of the Shadow Fiend.
That's absurd.
Shadow Fiend has gone into the jungle to start farming up. Obviously, you've had some really good rotations coming in from the Earth Spirit, but Sumail's having the time of his life. Once he picks up that Hand of Midas, he'll start going up further, and Arteezy has taken nothing from the lanes, experience included. So you basically, it almost feels like a 4-core strat. Like Arteezy is third on net worth at the moment. The lowest one is the offlaner, which is Universe. But Universe has his Chrono. Yep, Sumail, well, there goes your little ice out. Now Chronosphere perfectly on the Shadow Fiend. The Cold Feet, well, SF's going to fall. Boombox is also chilled up. So even the regeneration they thought they might want to have, they can't really have it. Cold Feet damage tick will do the work.
Oh my god.
And Sumail gets a double kill.
So you know what we were saying? There might not be level 25 AA? I don't think the game will go that far now. That's the problem, but he is the damage potential from Cold Feet with the 7-second cooldown. It's always up. Like every single time they try to go, he gets like 2 Cold Feets on them once he gets the turnaround. The raindrop got fully expended there though, so it paid off right away.
You know, I think the game may actually go that far just because EG's ability to kill off buildings, like, actually he's relying on the Plague Wards, which Clutch currently don't have an easy way to get rid of.
Yeah, that's the thing is that they can just park in the front lines and they don't really have. I mean, they have good magic damage, but we saw what happened in some of the previous series when Arteezy played Venomancer. They just park right there, and if they try to go on him, they counter-initiate.
I was watching the bottom lane because I thought Rappy was going to kill off Zai, but Rappy, no, he'll live. Barely. But again, there was another kill from Sumail. The Shadow Fiend will fall.
Yep, just rolling Boulder into Boulder Smash. I caught the end of it. I just didn't say anything because I'm slow and stupid.
Rappy has got to have a crack here at Zai. Like, Zai's just tanking through his harassment. Like, the spawn spiderlings, he's throwing it into the Sand King, and now he is losing a lot more spiders on the lane because he's committing to kill off the SK.
Yep.
But SK's regeneration, 12.3 a second, having both the Soul Ring plus the Ring of the Ring of Health.
Arteezy has a Veil already with this lineup, this composition. Oh, AA Blast.
It was hoping for Rappy to initiate. But Zai doesn't have his Epicenter. He already committed it previously.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, going back to the Veil really quick, just Veil in this lineup is, dude, they have so much spell damage. And even Sumail takes the spell amplification at 10 on AA, so on top of the 30% increased magic damage, he's going to have 38%. That's going to be absurd.
They're getting ready to fight top. 14 seconds until you get the Chronosphere up. Ancient Apparition Ice Blast is available. And Fly Solo, Gabby, and Boombox, they're all grouping up. Here comes the Ice Blast all the way up to the north. And on top of the tower, it's not going to hit on anyone. It does chill on the Crystal Maiden, who Faceless Void's going to find Solo a little bit further out. Moonlight Shadow being used as protection to get him back behind the tower. And Chronosphere. Universe will just commit one more hit. No, he doesn't even get a time lock. He time dilates. Nope, doesn't even have that. Fly Solo on 33 HP will live. Meanwhile, Boomback's underneath the tower. Gets the Fissure off. Arteezy and Crit trying to fight this one out. They're able to do so. The Plague Lords give them the vision. And the Crystal Maiden was able to TP herself all the way back home.
At least the Moonlight Shadow saved somebody, but not Armel in the mid lane. Arcane Rune AA. You can actually pretty much like double cold feed people. 4.9 second cooldown, and it freezes them for.
Gabby,
it freezes them for 3.5
leap,
after
Gabby.
4.
Leap! Leap before you get time locked to Oblivion! He's trying to battle Universe!
The bait.
The bait to what? What's he baiting? No one's coming. Bait normally means you have a follow-up. Solo, is he just going to commit? Yeah, Fly Solo is just going to commit the ulti. It's not enough to kill off Arteezy, not while Crit said to actually get the silence and Fly Solo.
Oh, he's
Ice
dead.
Blast connects, and then with the Poison Sting damage, he will die. Sumail has 9 kills, 2 deaths. And those 2 deaths happened all at the very beginning.
He's level 12, and he's going to have Ags incredibly I thought maybe for a second he might go Dagon, but no, he's just going to go for the Ags build because they have the global potential from the... from him, but with the Chronosphere paired up, and with Venomancer. Aghanims plus a Veno ulti, pretty much anybody's dead. Actually, anybody is dead because of how over-level they are if they get hit by both.
How are they meant to stop this, though? Like, should it have been a different laning? Should Gabby have done rotations with arrows to try and catch out the Ancient Apparition? Like, the fissure play was definitely working, but...
I think that the problem is that the Mirana is not a strong core hero. That's why we're not really seeing it played so often. And when it is, it's played like sometimes in the mid lane, but...
Gabby's dead.
Gabby's just actually dead to this.
Yeah.
There's no way he survives.
He gets hit by Veil, Gale, and Nova.
The Shrine, actually. He could make it in time.
Oh, they're triggering it. He stopped for half a second.
He has to watch out for the Ice Blast.
Ice Blast goes to the right. Yep, he will survive. They'll burn the Shrine for it.
Yeah, the thing is that their lane adjustments were probably just a dodge in a way, but it seemed like EG was kind of like moving around trying to decide where the lanes were, but they get the matchups that they wanted. EG wanted exactly this. They wanted the Sand King bottom versus Broodmother, Arteezy to jungle, Void top lane versus Mirana, Earthshaker, CM. And all 3 lanes are...
They're going mid again.
Going mid.
Okay, Shadow Fiend has 4k net worth to the 7.4k now of the Ancient Apparition. Universe got that last hit.
Sumail switched his build.
He did. He's
going Maelstrom. Spell damage, and get some potential to farm and push waves out. He's going to actually be like a damage-dealing core rather than just relying on his ultimate.
It's the push power, right? So how do EG actually approach it, apart from just continuously killing off CG until they're like at an unstoppable point? How do you take the high ground?
Just slow siege with a Venomancer in front. You hope that they walk in. You hope that you get CG out and you just take a team fight and you kill them and then you take the tower. It's not just going to be some like sieging type of game. It's kill them, all dead. That's your potential to siege because they don't have greatest one like you mentioned.
Well, Zion's almost finished taking this bottom tower. Sand King versus Broodmother. A Broodmother off lane that is incapable of taking a tier 1 tower. Like, they're both as low as each other.
I was going to show the Spiderling kills, but it actually seemed to have reset somehow, so... Not gonna show it for you guys this time, but it was... He has gotten bottom
the
lane.
Echo Slam. Maybe there's enough damage here. SK... You know, the hilarious thing is, he killed off, like, I think 20 Spiderlings just before he died because of Caustic.
Yep.
But Boombuck still. Blink Dagger reveal.
That's a very early Blink Dagger coming out from him. He has Naked Blink. Boots Blink. I actually did not expect him to have it this early from the net worth that he has listed. But just banking his gold, going just for that. Top lane, Gabby could be in some trouble. They don't have the Chrono, though, nor any reveal, so he should be just fine.
Yeah, Shadow will allow him to survive. Yeah, bottom lane, crit, turns on the Magnetize.
Oh no, goodbye,
But
Raptor.
he has no vision.
Does he get another Magnetize tick? Gets him.
Really? It's Sumail that gets the kill.
That Spell Amp talent is pretty much what gave it to him there. 8% Spell Amp plus his level 2 ultimate just pushes him literally right over the edge on the last tick.
Gabby's going to finish his TP out. Universe won't see him in time. They're even scanning to have a look. But damn. No, I thought EG would be coming out very confident in this game, but I wasn't expecting this level.
Yeah, I mean, this is some insane stuff. I mean, Sumail is level 15 already.
Burrow Strike into the Epicenter. Ice Blast is coming in, doesn't have to go too far. Fly Solo actually walks not into it. They're all on the edge, so Zai will fall and CG are thrown a bone by evil geniuses.
Bit of a late thrown ultimate from Sumail there. Zai wanted to commit. He looked like he was pinging it out, but not sure if they had the proper communication there right away. But either way, yeah, good little response there from CG. This is pretty much how they have to play to come back into the game. Just sit behind your cores, wait for EG to make mistakes for the time being because of the... I mean, particularly the Shadow Fiend. Pretty much sit behind the Shadow Fiend because when you draft a Shadow Fiend in this type of lineup, he is your saving grace. But when he's so shut down, there's only one way to get him back in the game, and that is baby him.
Baby him and let him farm. You'll actually buy up a 4-star of his own, so they're trying to find a counter towards the Cold Feet, as well as the heavy amount of slows which come in from EG.
I'm pretty hyped for this AA, though. He's going Dragon Lance and Hurricane Pike next, so that should be pretty cool.
Top lane. Oh, mid-leap!
The AA Blast is coming too.
She is in mid-air. Finally, she hit the ground, but yep, the Ice Blast is on the way. Gabby TP, they can even let him complete that, but Crit will take the glorious kill. Everyone wants a little bit of money.
Arteezy's almost got an Aghanims too.
How much damage does he actually do? There's a plus 30 health regen.
Yep.
On the Ancient Apparition. So he does damage, he regens like a beast.
I mean, the magic damage just in general on the side of EG is ridiculous, the potential that they have.
Oh, Fly Solo's trying to fight, but into the middle of 4 Plague Wards. He knows there's no hope here. Gets hit by Gale. There was no Ice Blast on the way, which may have been his other major concern.
Straight up recovery mode for CG. Just trying their best to find farm wherever possible. Without really showing in lanes either. It's like every time they show in lanes, it's like stun, Ice Blast, dead. Chrono, Ice Blast, dead.
The only one who's had success with that is the Invis Master.
Yep.
It's the Broodmother on the bottom lane, but you look at his build. Echo Saber, Hand of Midas. Does he really become their physical damager for the team if SF is incapable of doing so?
They need BKBs to fight into EG, and then even then it's tough because you're playing versus a Chronosphere.
So you just get locked down.
Yeah.
And Ice Blast still goes through it, right? Like, you still get the debuff.
You still get the debuff, but you don't take the damage, nor can you shatter until BKB ends.
God, Aghanims is done for Arteezy.
Yeah, his damage is, 120 per second for 16 seconds. That's way more health than anybody has on the side of CG so far.
If he actually completes the Blink Dagger as well, which he's going to, nothing's really going to stop this. There's no way Clutch can even slow him down. Like,
they can't fight.
Spirelings from Rappy under webs is the only thing that's probably going to cancel his Blink.
Yep. I mean, they just plain old cannot fight this lineup of EG. They have to catch some like split off, get some pickoffs, but even then it's very difficult.
Now, you know what Boombox wants? He wants the kill on the Ancient Apparition. Sumail would be worth so much money at the moment.
They're just gonna. I mean, like you touched on it a bunch of times. EG's push is not the greatest. They need to just accrue such an advantage that they can just brute force it or take a fight and then just take the buildings after that. But it's still going to be quite a bit of time for that to happen.
I don't know if Zai just misclicked or not. He was TPing towards the mid to join. Yeah, I think he misclicked. He TP'd towards the mid to join the Earth Spirit for the smoke with Ancient Apparition. Now, this doesn't happen.
I think it might have gotten called for him to stop it, though, because if they show nobody in the lanes, then it's like something's up, you know? So if he's just showing bottom, then it gives a little bit more liberty for this movement to actually be successful.
Oh, Sumail, they're coming in. Earthshaker hit already. So much damage.
His right click with the Chilling Touch, with the spell amplification and the Maelstrom. Look at that. It's 800 damage in the span of like 2 seconds from an AA.
And they don't have to commit any major ultimates. Like, it's a crit kick and it's a vortex with Chilling Touch. That's all. You've still got Epicenter. You've still got Faceless Void. And now you're going to get more money from Spiderlings.
He's gotten a lot of gold from Spiderlings this game. I can show the counter right now. I believe it's double what it's going to show right now because it reset, but I'm going to show it really quickly for you guys anyway.
So 681 gold, 51 spiders, and 48 of them onto the SK.
Yeah, I think he had about 400 gold from the previous time.
Oh, he got the ulti off. Ice Blast will not connect. Universe gonna solo. Okay, you know, that's just harsh. Like, that is harsh on a Crystal Maiden.
Is Boombax gonna die? Boombax is dead. He did not have a TP to TP out after that Venom Gale ultimate.
Really?
Yeah, he just gets ticked down nice and slowly to the Veil Aghanims.
Oh boy.
At least the Cormorano was able to get out.
So well played. Goes inside the Sandstorm, actually cancelling the Broodmother from being able to walk inside her own webs. Now Universe back in again, looking for the kill on the Shadow Fiend. Zai comes in closer. Crit does die for that kill.
Worth. The way they get towers is through killing these heroes, so they can at least pressure a little bit off of this. But still need to be a bit careful versus CG when they have number advantage.
The full Hurricane Pike just arrived for Samael.
Nice.
And he's
almost level 18. He actually might get level 25 this game, dude. I'm pretty excited for it. 4 charges of Cold Feet. That's like a ravage.
But with his build, plus 100 Chilling Touch damage seems to make a little bit more sense.
It could be good. Yeah, I think both could be good this game.
Like we were looking for the basically Cold Feet Ravage, but in this matchup, plus 100 damage.
Especially when they have a Void as well. Like throwing it on your Void plus 100 is a lot, because Void is not really the biggest damage dealer. He does have a Shadow Blade, and he is getting to be a bit more online, but with that plus 100, whenever he gets there, you know, it's quite a ways away, so we'll get there when we get there.
TZ's trying to solo Roshan. Finally, someone has come in that can tank Roshan for him. He was taking so much damage from this. Goodbye, Earth Spirit. Looks like no Echo Slam, just an arrow catching crit unawares.
Just some Fissure, Enchant Totem, Arrow. He was just on his own, trying to he was just making space for the Rosh, more than likely, trying to make it look like not everybody's off the map.
Fly Solo is trying to find the only place he can farm. He's got an Observer Ward to protect him, but Zai triggers Invis, finds Fly Solo.
Waiting for the AA blast, he's pinging it, telling him where to go.
It's coming. Like, actually, let's just follow the blast.
Uh-oh.
All the way in. Pinpoint accuracy.
Goodbye, Crystal Maiden.
It was nice knowing you. 13-2-2 now over on the Ancient Apparition. With an Aegis Immortal to back him up, I don't even know if he really needs that.
Yeah. You know how you ruin stats? You pick mid AA and you do this. Nox and Nahaz are going to be like, this is the most kills and ever on an Ancient Apparition in the first 20 minutes ever.
Well, Samael's gone down. The Aegis Immortal's been triggered, but can they really kill him again? The Ice Blast comes off cooldown in 2 seconds' time. Thanks to Vortex, he sees nothing because the Moonlight Shadow
They've got Echo.
Stronger. The Sentry Ward is there. Echo Slam is out. Crit, Rolling Boulder forward. He gets the silence onto the Mirana. Ancient Apparition is low, but Earthshaker can't reach him anymore. They try and try, but they will fail. The Earthshaker will fall, and Samael will live. And thanks to his 40.7 regeneration a second, he'll be back to full in no time.
It's like fountain regen. That's actually probably what saved him in that engagement there. The damage was adding up, but yeah, 40 health per second. That's that's something.
So if you can avoid the ganks, that Ice Boss is coming to the bottom lane. If TZ times this right, which he really could, he doesn't actually have the Gale, but he can Veil and then Nova. No, not going to happen. Have to remember that's not an Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, on the AA.
Yeah.
But right. This is...
Venomancer just lets it go. He'll get hit by the arrow and Chronosphere. Well, combination is not going to work. Universe has to time walk himself out this one. Rappy is still going to go down to the Nova, but he won't die. Especially when he pops Insatiable Hunger.
Fly Solo dies at least, though.
Yeah, Crystal Maid's not so lucky.
You get to see him.
And Zai will take top tower.
Yep, space.
He's building... In fact, he's not just building. He has Radiance
yeah.
on the Sand King.
That's it's a good item here.
Yeah.
He's a core. You know, like we said, he was going to become the core of this game as the Sand King since he was laning versus a Broodmother. So, yeah, Radiance is a very good item here versus Shadow Fiend versus Broodmother. Completely negates a lot of their damage. They do almost have their BKBs finished up, though, which that actually gives CG some potential to take some team fights whenever Chrono's down. As long as they can get some proper initiation coming out from either the Moonlight Shadow or the Earthshaker, they can actually fight with the BKBs.
Samael is just going full tank, plus 400 health as his level 20 talent.
Yep.
And
I think he needs it.
And now he's going Assault Cuirass after completing the full Mjolnir.
Yeah, at first I was starting to debate when I looked at the talents. I was like, oh yeah, 8% resistance and slow is decent, but you know, it's an AA. He only has 1.7 strength gain per level, and it's a core AA. You want to be able to survive in the fights, so... Definitely the more appropriate choice for him to get the health here.
Well, he's moving up to the top lane. It's the Observer Ward that's probably going to give him the confidence to fight around here. Moonlight Shadow will trigger, but again, underneath the Observer Ward, EG should be fully aware of what's going on. Zai moves forward, and he's got a Gem of True Sight. The Burrow Strike is onto the Earthshaker. A quick fissure, but the Cold Feet and the Sandstorm work together. Find that opening in there, going for a lot more. So Earth Spirit might have gone down. Here comes your Ice Blast on top of the Broodmother. Her BKB will trigger, but she's already chilled up a little bit. They needed a little bit more damage before Rappy can actually die as the BKB wears off. He won't be at the threshold, however, but Zai able to hit the Burrow Strike with the gem. Nowhere for Rappy to hide. It almost feels like Zai is the perfect Rappy counter with the way he's built this.
Yeah. Clutch Gamers saw Crit rotating toward top, so they tried to set up a play onto him, but unknown to them was EG wrapping around from the left side, and that freshly picked up gem from Crit put on Zai. Just able to get several kills up. No buyback on the Broodmother. Earthshaker does have Echo Slam when he respawns, but this is just what we were talking about. The way that EG pushes buildings is after getting kills.
Zai was having a bit of a deeper look in. Gabby and Crit playing around the bottom rune. Nothing to really be gained from that, apart from maybe AG coming over for a couple of kills. But the Plague Wars are doing their work. SF waiting his time out of the cover of smoke.
Mid lane,
Nice
Gabby.
blast. The Chrono is going to connect. Again, getting caught Gabby out of position. Able to leap nice and quickly. Don't know if he's actually got the movement speed to escape from this. Not win the silence. Chris just way too good. Fly solos the ulti fly, but Samael is there ready to hit him like a truck.
Yeah, this is going to be a full-blown record breaker for AA. 220 CS, 26 minutes, 14 kills.
I don't think Samael knew what he was going to do when he got to this point. He had AC, now he's looking at BKB, and
That's the game-ending build, right? BKB, so he can actually like safely siege and take buildings.
Zai just goes in. He killed the Broodmother with the Burrow Strike. Caustic Finale is what ticks him out at the end. And Armel, so low on life. Don't walk into it. He walked into it. The BKB's going to wear off. The Ice Blast connected. He'll trigger out. And GG, we don't hit the level 25 on the Ancient Apparition. That's the only disappointing thing from EG in this game. Their draft worked like a dream.
Their draft was very fun, do I have to say. Like, they just steamrolled through the laning phase. They got exactly the setup that the lanes that they wanted, and CG wasn't able to really do anything. They tried to make some nice moves with the ES and the Crystal Maiden. Boombax, you know, gets a decent timed Blink Dagger, but just not enough.
Yeah. Things not working for Clutch, but Samael, 15-2-6. Is there any hero who has been classed as a support that he cannot play in the mid now? Like, I wonder if we even get our mid Rubik in the next game, if we're going to really pull back.